This is Eric from Real Property Management Last Frontier. In this video, we're going to talk about what lock features work great for rental property and what features will actually work against you. So this is the most common style that most of us grew up with, which is your tumbler style key lock. And nothing wrong with these, but the thing to remember is that per law, you will have to have a locksmith come out here and change the keys in between each tenant. If someone were to make a copy of the key, say the prior tenant, they can now get into this home forever. So I'm going to really quick demonstrate a common failure of this style of electronic lock. Let's say our door is slightly not aligned correctly, and I go to lock it. You see, it didn't work. Now, if everything, in a perfect world, if everything works right, it's going to lock just fine. But if this gets slightly misaligned because you put in some new door seal, it may not work correctly. You may walk to your car and just have left your door unlocked. So let's say I'm leaving the home. I'm going to tell it to lock. Front door locked. Now you can hear the security system behind me barking. But it moved this deadbolt itself. Two reasons I don't like that. One, you're using battery power from the lock to do that. I could have done that myself. I could have just gotten permission from the lock to move it, but instead I am moving the deadbolt using battery power. That's going to draw your battery power down faster. Secondly, if this doesn't perfectly align with the door frame, all it's going to do is try once, try twice, try three times, beep, 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 flash red. Now, if you're on a phone call, you may be halfway to your car and hear that beep, 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 and now you got to come back and reset the lock. So this is a Schlage BE365. This is the lock I have on my personal home, and I've had it on my last 3 homes. Why do I love these so much? One of the reasons is I have a key backup. So if you ever have a freeze up, something where the electronics are working fine, but there's too much moisture in the lock, which happens very, very rarely, but it can happen, you have a key backup to force it. When those have happened, what I've typically done is just taken a hairdryer and blown hot air on the lock, and that unfreezes everything and it breaks it loose. It typically only happens when there's way too much moisture in the home. Now here's the main reason I like it. You'll notice that the deadbolt is out right now. I'm going to put in the code, and you'll notice this deadbolt has not moved. That's because I have to physically move it myself. What that means is the batteries last very, very long. Here's the other reason I like this lock. When I press this button, you'll notice I didn't put in a code. I am physically moving this deadbolt out. So the batteries aren't doing the work. Secondly, this deadbolt, if it doesn't quite connect with the door jamb in the right way, I feel it in my fingers as I'm doing it. Whereas the ones that drive it themselves, if they miss, you're lucky if you get a beep, beep, beep to tell you that some problem has happened. Strongly recommend this style of lock for rental properties. You can put in, I think it's 36 codes into this. So you'll have a 6-digit programming code, and then you'll have really more user codes than you could ever want. You can put in user codes and then delete them later if you so choose. So maybe you're concerned about, well, but Eric, this has a key. What if somebody uses a bump key? What if somebody gets a lockpick set off Amazon? Let's have a real conversation here. If someone wants in your house, they can use one of these in a window and they'll get in. So don't worry about that. If you don't have armored windows and a security system, then worrying about bump keys and lockpicks, not really your problem. For more tips and advice on rental properties, make sure to follow our page. Stay tuned for more helpful insights to make your property management journey easier and more successful. See you on the next video.